Are you looking for a way to expand your life and to manifest your wildest dreams? If so, in this video, I'm going to be unlocking the secrets of Jupiter, your Jupiter placement in your natal chart. Now, I'm going to talk about how it impacts your life, how it impacts your destiny, your personality. And then I'm also going to provide tips on how you can harness your Jupiter energy to attract more abundance and prosperity and wisdom into your life. Okay. And so, if you are new to me, to my page, to the channel, to any of my content in social media land, my name is kkatrice. I am the Natal Chart Navigator, and I read natal charts for a living. And I teach open-minded, ambitious, professional women to read their natal charts as well and utilize the information found in their natal charts in order to level up in so that they can level up in every area. Okay. And so now let's jump into exactly what Jupiter represents in astrology, its association with expansion, with growth, with good fortune. Okay. And so Jupiter is the planet. When you think of Jupiter, you think of it's the biggest planet in the solar system. It is the great benefic, meaning that wherever it is in your chart, it does bring blessings. And even if it's if it's afflicted in the chart, um, it still the the outcome isn't as negative as say if it would be Saturn or Mars. Okay. But Jupiter represents luck, good fortune, expansion. It also represents morality, your ethics, philosophy, religion, teachers, higher laws, or beliefs. Okay. It also represents adventure, long distance travel, foreign countries, higher education, and broad concepts. Okay. It is a very idealistic, optimistic, big picture type of energy. And so wherever you have Jupiter in your natal chart, excuse me, it shows where things will come a bit more easily for you. Okay. Now it can also indicate areas of laziness or overindulgence. Okay. And so, like I was saying earlier, Jupiter afflictions bring excess and are much less detrimental than afflictions to other planets. Now, when Jupiter is direct, meaning that it's moving in a forward motion, it's moving forward, the focus of Jupiter in your birth chart is on external growth and manifestation. Now, when Jupiter goes retrograde, then the focus is on internal growth and philosophical or moral development in wisdom. Okay. Now, I did a video on talking about if you have your natal placements in retrograde in the birth chart and how to utilize that energy. So you want to go, I'll tag it in I'll put that video in this video. I'll tag it in the description so that you can go check that. Because if you have your natal Jupiter in retrograde in your chart, then it's going to kind of be flipped for you. Um, you're going to have to go internal in order to get the energy to flow externally. And then when it's retrograde, it's the okay, it will just flow more naturally for you. Okay. Um, Now Jupiter rules your mental reasoning, the cerebrum, and your fat metabolism. Now that is some things that it rules in medical astrology. Now the Jupiter cycle is 12 years. Okay, so for you to have your Jupiter return, it's every 12 years. Okay, and it stays in each sign for approximately about a year. Okay, currently at the time of recording, Jupiter is in the sign of Taurus. And it just moved into the sign of Taurus, I believe, in May of 2023. So it'll be here until May of 2024. Then it will move on to Gemini. Okay. Now, Jupiter is one of the transpersonal planets, meaning it shows you relate to the world at large. Okay, so my notes here. Okay, now while I'm waiting for my notes, if you have not gotten a copy of the three-step framework, where I go over how to actually read your chart, I give the three steps that I use in order to read and apply the information in your chart. It's absolutely free. I will have the link to my link tree so that you can go and get that in the description box, and you can also click the link on the home page on the YouTube channel. You can click that to get to the link as well. Okay. Right. So Jupiter impacts different zodiac signs differently, okay? Because each zodiac sign operates a different way. And so whenever you have Jupiter in a sign, it's going to be expressed in the way of the sign, okay? And so, you're going to feel Jupiter's influence in every area of your life because, like I said, when you look at the zodiac wheel, the natal chart wheel, it's a wheel. So everything is around in a circle. So everything is impacting another area of life, okay? And so now the sign where Jupiter is placed in your birth chart, this is known as your Jupiter sign. Okay. And so this sign reveals your natural talents, gifts, as well as the areas of life where you are most likely to experience growth and expansion. Okay. And so an example would be if Jupiter is in Sagittarius, which is the sign that rules, then you are more likely to be a natural explorer and adventurer. You also may be somebody who's very philosophical and very optimistic. Okay. Now, the house where Jupiter is placed in your birth chart reveals the area of life where you are most likely to experience the most luck and abundance. Okay. And so, if it's in your ninth house, okay, ninth house is the house of foreign lands, travel, higher education, beliefs. Okay. And so, if you have it in the ninth house, then you may be lucky in travel, in higher education, or in philosophy. Okay. You also may be drawn to more humanitarian causes that revolve around religion. Okay. Ninth house is also the house of religion. Okay. Um, Now, the zodiac signs that are most influenced by Jupiter are Sagittarius and Pisces, and because these are the signs that Jupiter naturally rules. Okay, rules Sagittarius, and then it's the traditional ruler of Pisces, meaning that before Neptune was the Jupiter was the sign that ruled. And so now, having your Jupiter in Sagittarius, okay, it means you're more likely to feel very optimistic and philosophical. And you also may be very adventurous and love to travel. Okay. So when Jupiter is in Sagittarius and Pisces, it does operate efficiently. It is at home. And so it's going to just operate and move and flow, wonderfully. Okay. Now, with Jupiter in Pisces, you're likely to be somebody who's very compassionate and spiritual, but you also may be very creative and imaginative. And the one thing about Jupiter in these signs is that it does everything on a large scale. It looks at big picture, because Jupiter doesn't look at it doesn't look at the small, minute details, and so it's big picture. Okay. Um, Now, opposite, when Jupiter is in the signs opposite to its home sign, that is what's called detriment, meaning that it has to work a little harder in order to express it. Okay, because it doesn't have all of the components it needs in order to express it. Okay. And so when Jupiter is in Gemini, you're likely to be somebody who's very curious for knowledge, You just want to learn all the time. You want to soak up all the knowledge you can. You're also going to be very social and outgoing. Now, one thing about having Jupiter in Gemini is that um, the abundance isn't huge. It's not big. It's not big because that's not how Gemini energy expresses it. Gemini energy is here, it's there, it's all over the place. And so you will have luck and extension and growth, but it's just not going to be on a large scale in the sign of Gemini. It's going to be more like little things or smaller scale things, but it's going to be a multitude of them instead of like one big thing like it would be in Sagittarius. Now, when it's in the sign of Virgo, which is the other sign that it is in detriment in, Jupiter in Virgo, you're likely to be very, very practical and efficient. Okay. And you will probably also be very health conscious and organized. Now, again, Sagittarius is not an organized energy, and the energy of Jupiter is not an organized. It is go big or go home. It's all over, and it doesn't look at the small suit details. It looks at overall big picture. Virgo is small, minute details. So Jupiter really has it really like slows down Jupiter's energy um to where it's like you will be somebody who your abundance comes through your organization. Your abundance comes through you being efficient and practical and doing the step by step. It's not going to be a major in your face. It's going to be abundance that comes kind of like over time. Okay. Now, it's exalted in the sign of Cancer. And so exaltation means that this is the most optimal environment for this planet to be in. It loves this energy and it just operates. It's like the king on its throne when it is in exaltation. It's like it's in heaven, right? And so with Jupiter in Cancer, um, you would be somebody who is very nurturing and family oriented, also very intuitive and emotional. Okay. And then in fall, which means it is the absolute worst for it to be, and that would be in the sign of Capricorn. And Capricorn energy, it is ruled by Saturn, which is the great malefic. Okay. And so um, Capricorn energy isn't all about the big. Capricorn energy is all about being consistent. And sometimes Jupiter is not a consistent energy. It's more of a it's more of a just explore just the you only live once energy. And Saturn is a like, yeah, you only live once, so you gotta get things in order. You gotta, it's all about the structure, okay? And Jupiter is not about structure, okay? And so it really struggles to express itself in the sign of Capricorn, okay? So having your Jupiter in the sign of Capricorn, you'll be somebody who's really, really ambitious and driven. You'll be really responsible and reliable. Um, and you're going to make sure that things are done. And so you're going to receive, great abundance in your life or great luck or prosperity, but it's just going to take you more time to receive that, versus somebody whose Jupiter is in Sagittarius. Okay. And you have to think of the energy of the sign, and then also the planetary ruler of the sign, which will explain why when a planet is in that energy, why it operates the way that it is. Okay? I hope that made sense. It was my intention that it did. Okay. And so in addition to the sign in the house um, that the planet is in, that Jupiter is in, aspects to Jupiter that Jupiter makes other planets in. your chart can also provide further insights into its influence. Okay, and so when you get the framework, um, aspects are chapter 2, and you want to go in and read about the aspects. There's 5 major aspects, and then there's minor aspects. But when you're first learning to read your chart, the 5 major aspects are the ones that you want to focus on. Chapter 2 talks about all that in the ebook. Okay. Um, and so, an example of this. Okay. So, if Jupiter is making a favorable aspect to your sun, so favorable aspects would be trines and sextiles. Okay. And can be conjunctions, depending on the other planet that Jupiter would be conjunct to. Okay. But if Jupiter is making a favorable aspect to your sun, then you're somebody who is probably going to be a very lucky person. Okay. And you may also be very successful in your whatever field you choose. Okay. Now, if Jupiter makes an unfavorable aspect to your sun, you could be prone to overconfidence and carelessness, and you could also experience financial losses. Okay. Um, and so Jupiter's influence on your natal, on your zodiac, okay, it is meant to be positive because it is a great benefic. Okay? So even if it's in an energy that it um, is unfavorable, that it doesn't quite work well in, even if it's in a house that it may not work the best in, um, it still gives blessing. It still brings fortune and luck to you. Okay, it just may have to figure out a different way to work with the energy to bring that luck and fortune to you, but it still brings it to you because it is a great benefit. Okay. All right, now if you are enjoying the content in this video, please do give it a thumbs up so that others can get access to see the video and get a value as well. You giving it a thumbs up tells YouTube to show it to more people. Okay, and so the placement of Jupiter in your birth chart can tell a fascinating story about your life. Okay, and so if Jupiter resides in your 10th house, then you might have a natural talent for leadership and a strong drive to succeed in your career. You also will have a lot of fortune within the area of life where Jupiter is. So in the 10th house, you will have a lot of fortune, a lot of luck will come to you when it in regards to your career. Okay. And so, an example is Oprah Winfrey. She has Jupiter in her 10th house, and she has used her influence to inspire millions of people around the world to make a significant impact. Okay. Now, Jupiter in your 7th house, this could point towards you having rewarding, beautiful partnerships, and you could be somebody who is very diplomatic. Okay. An example of Jupiter in the 7th house is John Lennon. His Jupiter was in the 7th house, and he used his music to promote in unity. Okay, often collaborating with other artists to amplify his message. Okay, house is the house of partnerships. Okay, and it also talks about legal contracts and legal issues as well. Okay, now how can you use your Jupiter placement for personal growth or achievement? Okay. Well, you first have to understand and embrace the qualities associated with Jupiter. Okay. Optimism, generosity, growth, luck. Okay. And engage in activities that will allow these traits to shine. Okay. Um, so if you say your natal Jupiter is in Gemini, then you might thrive in environments where your intellectual curiosity and communication is the ascendant. Okay. Um, Here's a couple of things that you can do in order to really leverage and harness your Jupiter energy. Okay. The first thing is to understand Jupiter's role in your natal chart. Okay. Jupiter is all about growth, optimism, abundance, wisdom, philosophy, and abundance. And so when it's energy, when you're using its energy, opportunities for learning and expansion are abundant. Okay. And it's like having a cosmic green light encouraging you to pursue your dreams and aspirations. Okay? Now, these steps here, the steps that I'm giving you, these are when you look at the transits, which is chapter 3 of the framework. Transits are when a planet, where a planet currently is and how it's affecting your natal chart. And so when you are learning your natal chart, you have to understand what your natal placement represents. But then you also have to look at transits and see where that planet is, um, and how it's going to affect the area of life that it's and sign that it's transiting, and then also how it's going to affect your natal placement as well. Okay. So example, say you have Taurus 10th house, and which is career, and Jupiter currently is in Taurus. Okay, at the time of this recording. Okay. So opposite across the street is the 4th house. House is the house of home and family. Okay. And so say you have Jupiter in the 4th house. Okay. So Jupiter being in your 10th house of career brings growth, expansion, abundance. It's in the sign of Taurus. Taurus is all about the material world, ruled by Venus. So Venus is money. Taurus is a money sign, right? It's a earth sign. And so the expansion in your career is going to expand your home life. So the more money you receive, the more abundance you receive through your career is going to affect your home because, more money, you can do more things with your home, with your family, and things of that nature. Okay. Um, Number two, is what I just kind of pre-said, was to discover Jupiter's position in your birth. Okay. So once you understand what Jupiter represents, okay, and you understand the sign that it's in, which will tell you how it will be. You want to know where it's at in your position, where it's positioned in your birth chart, because this placement can give you clues about where Jupiter's expansive and beneficial energies play out in your. Okay, just gave just gave a example of that. Okay, now step 3, align yourself with the energy. Okay. So you know where Jupiter's influence is strongest in your life. You can align yourself with that energy. Okay. So this could mean pursuing studies if your Jupiter is in your ninth, or you could be seeking out investments or other ways for you to make money if it's house. Okay. Looking for ways to expand your home, your family, if it's in your 4th house. And so the key is to consciously channel Jupiter's positive vibes into these areas. So you really want to hone in on where it's at in your chart, um, and then focus on how you can use that energy in order to bring abundance and luck and growth into your life, not just in that area of your life, because it all boils, over. Okay. Just like the example that I gave with the 10,000. Okay. Now, the next thing is to incorporate some spiritual or mental practice. Okay. So Jupiter's energy, it resonates with spiritual and mental growth. Okay. Um, Sirius energy is the energy of like religion. Okay. Steve energy is the energy of, okay. And so You may want to tap into meditation. You may want to tap into yoga. If you are someone who is a religious person, you may want to go to church or the mosque, or incorporate some type of um, thing where you can start channeling this energy positively. Okay. Journaling is also a really good way to help you tap into this energy because um, Jupiter is over publishing and writing. Okay. And so that's a really good way for you to channel this energy. These practices can help you stay open minded and ready to seize all the opportunities that Jupiter is bringing your way. Okay. And the last thing is to apply this energy in your everyday. Okay. Um, if you have to embrace optimism and growth when you are looking to tap into your Jupiter energy. Okay. So if it's something that you want to do within your life, there's a course that you've been interested in, or a job that you have been, eyeing, or a business that you're wanting to starting, or even a trip that you may have always wanted to take the trip, apply for the jobs, the business, go sign for the course. Like when it comes to utilizing Jupiter energy, um, the energy is a very free flowing energy. It's an easy energy to tap into, but you have to tap into it. So you have to initiate the energy in order to see it start working in your life. So if you have Jupiter in your 10th house, which is career, business, your legacy, then and you've always been thinking about wanting to start this business, um, now that Jupiter is in the 10th house, wherever it else is in your chart is going to activate that placement. But now that it's in your 10th house, now is the time for you to start. Okay? Because Jupiter is expansion, abundance, luck, energy. So now would be the time for you to start. Okay. And so the intention of this video was that you found a value in learning how to tap into your Jupiter energy. So if you did, um, go ahead and give it a like so that others can find it as well. Um, if you would like to book a energy audit with me, you can do so by going to um, my link, my link tree. You can also book a career reading if you're looking to, start a new career, especially having Jupiter in Taurus. Now would be the best time to get in sync with your energies to find the best career business for you. It's something you are looking to do. I do have availability, so you can book with me. What else is going? I think that's it. So on Tuesday through Thursday, astrology after dark, and you can. It's 11 o'clock is when astrology after dark, and I just kind of go in depth on different topics. Okay, and so remember, possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, then you can definitely hold it in your hand. That should make you smile because you really do create your own reality.